Hello and welcome to I Want to Cook. My name is Chef Matt and this channel is all about helping you be a better cook. But as you could probably tell by the title of this video, we're not cooking today. We're actually doing something a little bit different and there's good reason for that. Let me explain. So just like a few weeks ago, I was not home this week to develop a recipe. Instead, my regular job as an automotive journalist had me on the road. I happened to be in Tennessee this week, a very cool state, and I was there for an even cooler reason. I was checking out not just all new vehicles, but an all new brand. I was checking out the brand new Scout Motors Terra truck and Traveler SUV, very cool upcoming electric hardcore like off-road adventure rigs, really cool. I'll put a link to my story on kbb.com down in the description below if you want to read more about those vehicles. They're very cool and they have a really great story to tell. But I've got a different story to tell and we're even in a different place for me to do it. As you can see, I'm not in the kitchen, I'm actually on the other side of the kitchen. If you've ever wondered what was behind that white door to my right, your left in videos, well, it's this. This is part of my garage and this is where I keep most of my cookware. Oh, and speaking of cookware, of course I have to have some cookware as props, and I'll kind of change these out throughout the video so it's not so boring that you're just looking at me. And don't worry, I'll also put in plenty of B-roll of cooking so it's not just me yammering. If you're wondering, this is that wonderful handmade tin-lined copper Bomaloo pot that I did a whole video on. I found this at a discount store, this is my first tin-lined copper pot. Extremely reactive, a wonderful find to cook with. Here's another find. This is the vintage Paul Revere ware pot that I got, a copper interior lined and a stainless steel exterior and interior. Another great pot. I did a whole video on this and I will put a link to, well, both of those videos in the description below. And in addition to trivia time at the end of this video, I'm going to give you a quick show and tell of a thrift store find that I got this week that looks amazing. I can't wait to show it to you. So I started this channel about 4 years ago and, well, I really didn't know much about YouTube to begin with, but I had plenty of friends who did. As an automotive journalist, I have a lot of friends who have big channels and, well, they were highly successful already on YouTube and they were kind enough to kind of give me some tips, give me some guidance before I delved into this world of YouTube. And boy, did they help me out majorly before I even started. And, well, maybe some of the tips that I can share now with you, maybe they can help you out. I thank each and every one of you who has been watching this channel, especially those of you who subscribed a long time ago, about 4 years ago when I started this channel. We just passed 25,000 subscribers this week. Thank you oh so very much. And while I know that I'm just like a tiny little minnow in the YouTube pond, I'm still just proud of, well, how far this channel has gotten. Okay, so without further ado, let me share with you the 7 life-changing pieces of advice that I got before starting this YouTube channel. And, well, it really has changed my life and, well, maybe it can change yours. So one of my friends who has a big YouTube channel, the first thing he said to me, it wasn't like a tip or a piece of advice, but he began with a question, and I think all potential YouTubers should, and that is to start with the why. Why do you want to start a YouTube channel? That's what he asked me, and, well, my response was easy because I knew exactly why. I wanted to help people cook. That's the whole reason for this channel, to help you be a better cook and, you know, maybe entertain you a bit with some of my crazy thrift store finds, things that I'm using. But basically it's to, well, help you all be a better cook. that was easy for me because, you know, I was a food writer before the YouTube channel, and the purpose of that, all those writings were to help people be better cooks. So that translated easily to this channel. But if you're thinking about starting a YouTube channel, I would suggest starting with the question. Start with the why. Why do you want to have a YouTube channel? Do you have like a hobby that you want to teach others about, or maybe that you're just excited about and you want to share? Is it like a vlog you want to share your life with? Whatever it is, I think having a clear and direct answer to that question of why, if you can do that, you're starting out on the right. If you do that, you're starting out on the right foot, not left or not wrong foot, the right foot. Okay, number two, another thing to know before taking the dive into YouTube is, what does success look like to you? Now, of course, this could change as your channel grows, but just going in kind of knowing an idea of what you think success will be, well, that can help you as you navigate your channel. If I were to say, let's say, well, I just want to know that I'm helping people cook, and people are responding, people are commenting and saying, well, you are indeed doing that, and you do, thank you so much. Well, I know that I'm being a success. But there could be other metrics too. Maybe success to you is getting 100,000 subscribers or 1,000,000 subscribers. But once again, kind of having this in mind, knowing what success looks like to you for your channel, well, that can help you when you ultimately reach it, and it can also help you as you set goals to attain that success. Now again, that idea of success might change as your channel evolves, but just having something in mind, well, you know, what's that old saying? You don't know if you've reached your goal if you don't know what the goal is in the first place. So just having that in mind, that picture, that can help you be your guiding light as you start your YouTube channel and grow with it. Oh, more cookware. So this is a little saucepan. This is one that I bought many years ago. Speaking of copper, this is a copper-clad stainless steel. This was made by Emeraldware. And a quick tip, if you're shopping at, let's say, a thrift store and you see Emeraldware, I say grab it, because Emeraldware was actually made by All-Clad. And while All-Clad can be hard to find in thrift stores, I see this Emeraldware stuff all the time, and it's really good quality. I mean, it's basically All-Clad under a different name. Often the thrift stores don't know this, so grab it if you see it. And this thing, I'm actually not quite sure what it is. I think it's maybe for tea or something. I got this at a thrift store up in Bellevue, Washington, I believe, many years ago, and I've used it to make tea, but I'm not positive that's what it's for. If you know what this thing is, please let me know. Okay, another piece of life-changing advice that I got before starting a YouTube channel, and this really was a big one, is, well, you've got to commit. Like, I remember somebody making the analogy that YouTube, to be successful, is not just a race, it's not just a marathon, like it is an ultra marathon. Like, this doesn't end. You know, if you really want to take YouTube seriously and you want this to be more than just, you know, maybe making the occasional video for friends or family or something, but you really want to have an audience, well, you have got to commit to it, and you've got to be consistent. I believe about one video a week is kind of the standard. That's certainly what I try to do. It's why I'm out here in the garage making a video, even on a week that, well, I wasn't at home in the evenings to kind of prepare recipes and plan for a video, but I still wanted to get a video out. But you've got to commit. I can't say this enough. So many people, they get excited about YouTube. They think, oh man, this is gonna be great. I'm gonna have a channel and I'm gonna do this and that. And you know, they make a few videos and then they just kind of stop. And you know, that's not entirely a bad thing. That can actually be a good thing, and I'll explain why soon. But if you really want to be successful at YouTube, you want your channel to grow, you've just got to commit to it. Like, this has got to be what you're going to do, and you've got to be consistent with making videos. So if you are serious about YouTube, you got to commit. Oh, this is a special kettle. This is the Whistler. This is a vintage flame-proof glass kettle. I did a whole video on it. Very cool device. I found this at the thrift stores. They still make these new, by the way, different versions, but basically you can put the flame under the glass to boil water, and when it is ready, it whistles. Very cool. This is one of my, of course, vintage Corningware pieces. This one is called a Grab It. It's got a little glass lid here, and well, these are neat because you can just kind of grab them by this handle and, well, heat up your food or use it as kind of a serving bowl. It's really cool. I love these things. I've got a bunch of them, the Grab-Its. The fourth piece of life-changing advice that I got before starting a YouTube channel, and oh, this one is so true, especially for me, is that, well, no offense, but your first videos are probably going to be terrible. I know that mine were. I mean, I look at them now, I look at like my first 50 videos, maybe my first 100 videos, and I just kind of cringe. Even some of my more recent ones. I've done over 200 videos now, and you know, I still see things in them that's like, oh man, I should have changed this, or I should have said that. But the first videos especially, well, you know, unless you're already a filmmaker or something like that, they're probably not going to be good. And that's okay, because they're only going to get better, and that's how you learn. And you know, the thing is, that's just kind of reality. It's kind of, well, the reality of everything. When you first started driving a car, you know, you probably weren't that good at it, but more miles, more time on the road, more years under your belt, well, you become a better driver. It's like that with anything, but YouTube especially. I guess the difference with YouTube is that, well, it's out there for the entire world to see. So all those terribly shot and terribly edited videos of mine that were early on, well, you know, they were out there, but that's okay. I was still learning, and well, people still watched, and they still at least found the content helpful. Oh, okay, two more pans here. We've got a vintage Revereware. This is a nice stainless steel pan with a beautiful copper bottom. I bought this one a few weeks ago when I was in, where was I? I was in Minnesota. I think I was in Minneapolis. I bought this at, I want to say, a Savers. Such a cool thrift store. I'd never been into one before. It was huge. I wish we had one near me. But anyways, I got this cool pan. I've been making like omelets and stuff in it. Here's another vintage one that I got years ago. This is a Farberware, aluminum exterior, stainless steel interior, and it's got this neat, really almost like a sealing lid here that you put on. I make a lot of food in this, two more wonderful pans. The fifth piece of life-changing advice that I got before starting a YouTube channel, well, that comes down to equipment, and basically use what you have. I think too many of us, when we're starting a YouTube channel, we get too focused, we get too caught up, we say, oh my gosh, I need this camera or that camera, and it's gonna cost all this money, and I don't know how to operate it. Well, this camera that you have in your pocket, otherwise known as a phone, this is like probably all you need to start. All these phones today shoot amazing video. You can shoot 4K. They record audio really well. And basically that's all you need to start. The barrier to entry to YouTube, it's this. I mean, this is it. It's a phone. That's all you need. You don't need like some $6,000 camera setup and all the mics and all that stuff. I mean, you can get that with time, but don't let that be like your excuse or your barrier to starting a YouTube channel. I mean, it's just, that's not the case. I mean, maybe get a tripod or a little stand for your phone, but that's really all that you need. You don't need much more, or just get something cheap. You know, like the first videos that I shot were on an old GoPro. And yeah, maybe they didn't look that great, but part of that was just like lighting stuff. I didn't know what I was doing. But don't worry so much about the equipment. Focus more on the content that you're going to create. And the great thing about using this is that, let's say you make a few videos and you find that YouTube just isn't for you. Well, at least you haven't spent thousands of dollars on fancy cameras and microphones and lighting and all that stuff. And remember, the phone is so amazing because not only can it, record your videos, but you can even upload to YouTube right from it. I mean, especially for shorts. And just YouTube in general is so amazing because, well, its reach is bigger than anything else. I mean, it's worldwide. It's on every single device. You can watch YouTube on TV. You can watch it on your phone. You can watch it anywhere. And, it's free. I mean, it's just, there is so many wonderful things about YouTube, but its reach is magnificent. And remember, it's owned by Google. So it's a huge search engine in and of itself. I mean, a lot of people look for things on YouTube. If you're looking for, let's say, induction-ready cookware and information on it, there's a good chance one of my videos will show up that, well, teaches you all about that. Okay, speaking of cookware, we got a couple of enameled pieces here. I actually made a video comparing, I think, these two pieces. They're both Le Creuset, and this is enameled steel, not enameled cast iron, enameled steel. Very cool little pot, very reactive. And this is enameled cast iron. I love this piece because the lid is also a little saute pan. But enameled cast iron here, enameled steel. If you're ever wondering about the difference between these two and which one might be better for you, well, like I said, I've did a whole video on that, and I'll put a link to that video in the description below. And aren't they just beautiful? They're so colorful. Okay, getting toward the end here, the sixth piece of life-changing YouTube advice that I received, and I'm passing it on to you, is that you're not just creating a channel, you're not just creating content, you're creating a community. Once you get, followers, those followers, well, they start interacting with each other in the comments, and maybe they talk about things on your video and things outside your video. I love it when you start talking about something in the comments and like a thread starts going, or you spark a new idea, or you have a request. That is awesome, and that's helping build community, and that's exactly what you're doing. Now, I know it's a little bit of a chicken and the egg thing when you start a YouTube channel and you have 0 subscribers and you're thinking, well, how am I building a community this way? Well, it just happens. It just evolves as you get more subscribers. And one thing I like to tell people who ask me about starting a YouTube channel and they're kind of hesitant, they're thinking, well, who's going to watch this? I had the same question. And what I found, and what I think is true, is that you are a magnet, right? So when you put yourself out in the universe and you put your content out in the universe, specifically YouTube here, it's going to attract like-minded people, people with like-minded interests and ideas and whatnot. Are you going to attract everybody? Of course not. Nobody does. But you're going to attract things that are attracted to you. Again, you are a magnet. So I wouldn't so much worry about who you're going to attract, because they will find you. They will find you as long as you are putting yourself and your content out there. It's just, again, it's that analogy of a magnet. So don't worry about that. Just keep, being consistent, being committed, and soon enough you will be attracting folks who are really interested in you and what you're doing. Okay, I'm sorry that these are all like thrift store finds, but well, if you watch this channel regularly, you know me. Like, most of this cookware behind me, I've bought for pennies on the dollar because they're all thrifted over like years and years. This is a piece, this is an old Tupperware piece. How many of you, like, did your mother or grandmother have this? My mother certainly did. I think she would make pancake batter in it just about every weekend, and she would just pour it out onto the griddle, or if I was lucky, I was pouring it out into the griddle and making pancakes. I found this, I was so stoked when I found this because it has the lid, including the little kind of spout hinge here. Very cool. It's just a few bucks at the thrift store. Here's another one. I did an entire video on this. This is a food mill. And if you've never used one of these or never seen one of these, they are really cool. They're kind of like, almost like an OG food processor of sorts. I'll put a link to the video in the description below. But this is a like a Foley food mill, very cool. This can make like baby food. This can make like the best applesauce you've ever had. Really awesome. Check out the video to see how this thing works. Okay, and the seventh and last piece of life-changing advice as far as YouTube, well, I think it's probably the most important. The guys over at Think Media, they say this all the time, and I'm going to repeat it. You gotta just hit record. I know that, you know, there's gonna be butterflies in your stomach. You're gonna be nervous. You're gonna be unsure about delving into this, the whole YouTube thing, but you gotta just hit record. Look, even if you never publish your first videos, that's fine, but you gotta record them. Just practice, you know, point the camera at yourself, hit record, and see what happens. You just never know. I mean, it really could change your life. You could be, you know, making a YouTube channel and getting millions of subscribers. And let's say that doesn't happen. Let's say that everything, you know, doesn't work out. You know, you find out that, you know, YouTube just isn't for you. It's not your thing. That's okay too, because I guarantee you're going to learn some important skills. Look, I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. This stuff is hard. It takes commitment. I burn up most of my weekends making YouTube videos, you know, planning, shooting, hooking up the mics, editing. Oh my gosh, I didn't even talk about video editing. I still do not like video editing. I've, you know, learned to do it a little bit faster, but it's hard. All of this stuff is hard. But those are all skills that you are learning that you can bring with you to another job, to another, you know, aspect of life. This is all not for naught. Not for naught? Is that? It's not in vain. That's what I'm trying to say. Starting a YouTube channel, you will learn things about yourself. You'll learn new skills. And look, even if you don't have faith in yourself, I have faith in you. I really do. Just like with cooking. A lot of people think it's hard and they don't know where to begin. Well, just, you know, get some ingredients, put a pan on the stove and light it up. I mean, yeah, you're probably going to make a mess. I still do at times. I still burn things and don't cook things well, but most of the time I don't. Most of the time everything tastes really, really good and sometimes phenomenal. So making videos on YouTube, this journey is going to be the same way for you. I have faith in you that you can do this. Okay? What do we got here? We've got, do you remember this guy? If you're a regular viewer of this channel, we're actually out here in the garage using this thing. This is a mochi maker. I found this at the thrift store for, I don't know, it's like 20 or 25 bucks, and it makes mochi, those Japanese rice cake desserts. They're so good. I'll put a link to that video. This thing was just an absolute hoot to use. And then here's another guy that's making another guest appearance. This is Visions cookware. This is the cookware that you can see through. It's made of a very specialized glass. It was made by the Corning company. I did a whole video on Visions cookware. I'll put a link to that in the description below. Really cool stuff. Oh, one more bonus one. The iPad has been sitting on this. You know what this is? This is a little, I call it a taco stand, because you put it on the plate and you put your tacos in it and, well, they stand up instead of falling over, because nobody likes to eat tacos that have fallen over. Okay, I truly hope that this video helps you in some way. Maybe it inspires you to start a YouTube channel, or at least kind of gets the gears turning, or I don't know, just even gives you a little bit of insight of why I'm doing this and, you know, kind of where we've been and, you know, where we're going. So there's that. Maybe this can help, I don't know, maybe make a small or huge change in your life. What do we got here? I told you, I got a little thrift store show and tell. Look what I found. Brand new in the box for, this was about $35. Guys, it's a Cuisinart. It's one of the mini ones, but one of the mini powerful ones. Brand new in the box. I think this is from like 1996, and it even comes with like this special juicer attachment. Very cool. We'll do a whole video on this thing, but little a thrift shop show and tell of what I found last week. Very cool. Okay, trivia time. Last week I asked you to identify this weird looking thing. So many of you got it right. It is indeed taro root. I can find this in my produce section. I don't know if you can find it in yours. If you can, let me know in the comments below. We'll probably make an entire video on this, on how to use this and kind of what to do with it, but this is indeed taro. Congratulations to everybody who got the correct answer. Okay, for this week's culinary tool trivia, who knows what this thing is and what it's used for? I think if you know what this is, well, you're going to be excited about it. I think. I don't know. Let me know. If you know what this is or you have a guess, put it in the comments below. Of course, I will let you know what it is and what it is used for in the next video. My friends, thank you so much for watching. If you've stuck it here to the end, I really appreciate it. And again, I know this video is a little bit different. Well, it's totally different from what we normally do, but we'll get back to the regular cooking and thrifting and all that fun stuff in the next videos. Until then, happy cooking. Thank you so much.